Hi, Jade. So good to connect. It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute, Mel, hasn't it?
It's been a couple of years.
Couple of years.
I can't wait to find out what you're currently doing and catch up because we you came and saw me during my chemo and you did that beautiful
I
photo
did. That was gorgeous.
with the hands.
Yeah,
Maybe we can find that picture and kind of do a little.
should. We should find that.
I think I've got that
You
saved.
find it for me.
Um, what's new in your world? What are you working on? I want to know what you're doing because I love all stuff creative. What are you working on?
I'm all in the creative business. That's me. So the last time you saw me, I was into all my baby and family portraitures. So I was really into family portraits. And now we are moving into a whole new little area, growth and progress. We're moving back into personal branding, photography, and likely a lot of B-roll creation as well. So I do love connection. I do love seeing people in real life. So we will be going back to in-person events and hopefully doing some of those headshots.
Hey.
Hopefully a lot of B-roll creation for all our lovely small women business owners on the Gold Coast very soon.
Ooh, tell me more. I like B-roll. Even Reagan, she's like B-roll when he's watching TV and stuff. We know what it's about, but it's time consuming to produce.
It doesn't have to be time consuming to produce. I think it probably feels time consuming because it's something we don't really want to do. We feel weird. It feels awkward. We're like, now I've got to put my little camera in front of me. And instead of it all being a natural part of your day, you end up starting to feel like you're curating every moment of your day, which is probably why in your brain, it feels like so much effort when it's actually not. But if we can get some friends together and do some of that B-roll together, we can make it fun rather than weird. And that is why I'm sort of going ahead with more of a B-roll and photography in the same it's kind of at the same time. So you've actually got a purpose to why you're doing it. You've got people around you. We can vibe each other up. We can have a lot more fun and really end the day on a high rather than avoiding, ignoring, and really hating and cringing every time we have to turn that camera on.
I'm excited. I love the sound of that because I've tried to do it. And like you say, you're out in the street and you're trying to like film yourself, walking up the street with yourself, and you're like, I feel like such an idiot. I feel like a wanker right now. And I also don't have a photographer or the budget to pay to hire someone to follow me around. So you
Yeah.
get natural, candid stuff. Even when I go to an event, sometimes it's nice to have a second person there. So you're saying you're creating multiple days? What is that what I heard?
So yeah, I would like to run monthly events. I am an offline event-based kind of lover anyway, so I may as well utilize my strengths and put on some regular events. Some will be curated in one way, some will be curated other ways, but yeah, the plan is to get together monthly, and it's not like I'm just the only one there creating the B-roll. I'll be able to, just as a photographer, knowing those lighting and knowing those angles, we'll be able to give you a little bit of guidance, angle help, and we're going to partner up with our friends that we're doing on our lunches and our brunches, and we're going to help each other create that B-roll. We're going to have plans, we're going to have lists, and we are going to walk away with a good couple of weeks worth of B-roll ready to go on your own phone so that you don't even have to wait for anybody. You can just start making it that afternoon if you're already inspired. So that's the plan.
I am just about in tears with excitement. That sounds so freaking awesome. Getting people around us to help us make our B-roll.
Yeah.
Genius.
So it's budget friendly, we're getting our socialization, but we're also utilizing that time for something that we really do need anyway, which means it's no longer, it's just trying to take away all of that hesitation and all that awkward feeling and really put the fun back in our businesses, because I feel like it just feels like grind too much and it should be more fun. And if we're bringing the grind to our everyday work, it doesn't feel so great, but if we're going to bring our fun to our everyday, that's going to show through our brand, through our voice, through our images, through our B-roll, and just that high energy level is just going to do so much for your confidence, for your consistency, and just showing up and looking forward to doing it rather than kind of almost hating it every day, which just slows you down, doesn't it?
So I'm getting this concept that I would have like build up each month more and more. So I've got this little library, stock library of my own.
Yeah, a little asset library is sort of really handy to have because obviously we know that not everybody else is looking at us every minute of every day to know what content we're using. So we do have the opportunity to have a variety of an asset library to utilize and repurpose it and reuse it over time in different places. So as long as you've got a good asset bank to start with, and the plan is we will be doing different venues in different places, so you will get variety as well as consistency, as long as it's on brand. Because we can get really tired of our own assets too. We can get tired of seeing the same photos. Not that everybody else is, it's just we are. So it's kind of nice to at least refresh it, have something new, get new vibes, get new feels, and, you know, continually love our own content. I think that's really important.
Yeah, I love that. And that's a good point. I've got a couple of shoots I've got some B-roll of, but I've stopped using them exactly. And I hadn't even thought of that until you said it. Like, we get a bit bored of our own stuff, but you're right. Not everybody's seen it, and it's a couple of years ago, so I can definitely bring it back.
You can definitely pull it back out and reuse again. Even if it's not the same platform, you can throw it into your blog, you can throw it into any of your other materials that you've got, any what do you call, because you do a lot of speaker events, so you have like a video roll that you can put some of your B-rolls into. Your show reel, yes. So you can definitely pull some of your B-roll into your show reels as well.
Yes. Oh, you're working on something awesome. Like, that is right up my alley, because I'm not consistent. I'm too busy. Too busy. It's not a highest priority for me to be doing what is non-income generating, but I know I need to do it because it's credibility, it's consistency. You know, even conversations like this adds to, I'm still active, I'm still out there in the world doing stuff. I may not be marketing myself consistently, but I'm still in business.
Yeah,
I'm not prioritizing this stuff. So that would be amazing, to pay to come along, to hang out, and then have something tangible to walk away with. I think that's a big bugbear for a lot of time. I know I've got a all-day workshop on Thursday.
Yep.
I've had to clear all of Friday, so I implement what I learn on whatever the day afterwards. I have to clear that to make sure I implement what I learn. And already that's like critical appointments are coming in and taking that time and hijacking your time again. So I'm making sure, okay, make more time the day after, so that I don't lose the wisdom of what we learned. I think a little maybe suggestion, get your clients to book in some time after they've done your day, so that they do some work the next day on the stuff they did the day before.
Yeah, a lot of the planning that I was going into in terms of how I create this and how I put it together and how I help it make sense for you and actually be usable and actioned, because sometimes that's the hard part, actioning it, actually doing the thing with it. So part of the plan was to have the B-roll day one week, and then the following week we come back and we actually schedule them. And we batch created. So we batch created the B-rolls, and then the following week we're going to batch create all of the actual reels themselves and scheduling them into your software for your platforms.
Or preparing the voiceover for my assistant to do the scheduling, because I don't do some of that stuff myself. But not everybody.
I love a bit of voiceover. Maybe I just like the sound of my own voice.
Well, the voiceover, for those who are not sure what that means, it's me creating, I guess, the message over the B-roll. What am I using? What's the B-roll for? Is to share a piece of content or wisdom or insight or tip or whatever you're doing. The voiceover is your thoughts, your wisdom, your teachings, coachings, whatever, to the B-roll, and then you get your assistant to mash it all together and spit it out for me.
Exactly. And we don't remember, even if we are using voiceover, we don't have to use voiceover on every single one. So it's nice to have some, we throw in variety. We like to keep it interesting. So voiceover for some, you don't have to do it every time. And if you don't like your voice, you can use somebody else's voice.
There's AI voiceover now that are really realistic.
And use pretty good AI voiceovers.
Yeah, there's subtitles, and I've watched plenty.
Subtitles.
Yeah.
So many ideas. It's exciting. So we can make it exciting and fun. It doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be cringy. I want to put the fun back into it. So that's the plan.
Especially with other people, like I am a creative. I am very artsy. The work is very spiritual. I'm very strategic. So I'm like this I'm never happy. I'm always looking for something else. So this is a nice opportunity for me to do some in person, hanging out with people, Jeez, it ticks so many boxes, Jade. That's so
It ticks lots of boxes. We feed you, we give you some socialization and time away from the office. So lunch is included, or breakfast is included, whatever time it is, we're going to include food for you. So you don't have to worry about, oh no, I don't even have lunch prepared that day. It's all included in your ticket price.
How did you know I don't feed myself?
Because I don't feed myself.
I'm so glad we've connected. This is so exciting.
It is exciting.
Why did you create this?
Because I'm kind of filling a lot of the business holes that I feel myself as well. I feel like an idiot when I have to go and try and do my own B-rolls too. And I don't want to feel like an idiot. So I may as well get some other friends together who also need the same thing as I do. And then I won't feel like such an idiot.
Are you
Because
saying you're going to get 10 idiots together?
we're going to get 10 incredible women who feel a little bit silly in front of a camera by themselves. But we're going to try and flip the script a little bit on some of those internal stories we tell ourselves, because yes, it is our face in front of a camera on a B-roll, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. But like, we have to put ourselves in front of this camera and feel a little bit awkward in order to support our brand and our business showing up online, so that then we can give our story and our services and whatever it is we're creating for our clients to see us and to want to work with us and to want to book with us. Because if they can't see us, we can't help them with what services we provide. So if all that's holding us back is some internal stories and some mindsets that are stopping us from being able to serve our clients at the end of the day, we need to fix that somehow. We need to work on some of those mindsets to stop holding ourselves back and realize we are doing these things to be able to serve other people. It's about our clients at the end of the day. And all of our own internal stuff just stops us from doing that. I do it every day, not just with the B-roll, but with the office work and with the content, and then with like all of the business hats. The overwhelm kicks in and the stories kick in and the justifications and the excuses, and I've got a lot of kids and I can't do this and I can't do that. And I was just recently at a meeting where we were talking about the word can't. Apparently I use that word a lot. So trying to flip the can'ts into cans. You know, what can you do? I can turn up to lunch one day and I can get a whole pile of work done, and it's even going to be fun. To really, yeah, I think it's really important that we start remembering that all of our mindset stuff, I've been through, I think, every single limiting belief and self holding back issue out there, holds us back from serving people, holds us back from serving other people, so holds us back from helping everybody else achieve what they're also trying to create. And it needs to change.
I don't think anybody who is in business for themselves hasn't at some time. In fact, I call bullshit on anybody who says, no, I've never had any procrastination or avoidance tactics working for myself. No, I would say, do you avoid doing your accounting because you don't like bookkeeping? Do you avoid writing articles or social media posts because you don't think you're a good writer? Like, there are so many elements of business. There is something we avoid. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we can, I don't know about everybody else, but I certainly I've just got into a really bad habit of it. It's just a habit now. Every day. Like, I had an amazing day yesterday, and then all the kids came home and started making a bit of noise, and then I was like super, super flat. And like, I had a good day, Jade. What are you doing to yourself? I need to do these things to myself. So it's just, we've got to be a lot more conscious about it. And I'm sure you, Mel, have a lot of helpful ways and tricks and tactics and techniques for helping us work through those barriers and those, you call me jump over those things, hurdles, that's the word. Yeah, I am on point today. I'm sure you've got a lot of techniques that could help us out in terms of working through those, so we can actually step into a stronger, more powerful position to be able to help the people we want to help.
So is it generally personal brands that you want to be on attending these video days? Is that because it sounded like it was service and women? Is that right?
Yeah, generally I am. I do like working with women, but that is not to say that I won't welcome gentlemen if they would like to come on in and enjoy the day with us as well. I can obviously work with men and women, but generally speaking, it is most kind of women based in terms of the strategies and what language I use to advertise and market. Because I'm super girly, so I'm just going to come out in my branding no matter what I do. Men are welcome.
I like to, when I'm talking about that, it's men who are comfortable in the feminine energy.
That
So
is true. That is
it's
true.
like being around women, and I know many, like my gorgeous Reiki, loves being around women and isn't intimidated by, a lot of female energy. So that's how I kind of like, if you resonate with that, then you can absolutely come and hang out with us because you won't feel awkward and the women won't feel awkward around you. So women
It's
or
just, it's
them.
just, it's just high energy, you know. I think I would like to think we're coming now into a little bit of an age where we are not everything is about women only this and women businesses and women events and women power and women conferences and women CEOs. Like surely there is, it's a big world. There is space for all of us. And I would love to see a lot more men and women mingling a bit more regularly these days. I would love to see more men at business events. Um, I've actually got, my husband and I were looking at putting on swinging back the other way, like a bit of a men's event actually, because women have like had all these things and these awards and these thises and those that's, and it's amazing to see us empowered and stepping into all of the amazing greatness that we have. But I think it's a good time that we sort of start to encourage, men, women, and everybody
Yeah, that
all together
union.
as well. I would love to see a bit more of that.
I know
So
I don't like being
join
around.
us in high vibes.
I know I'm uncomfortable sometimes being around when there's a particular um a style of output expression being kind of that bro, that kind of more testosterone driven. That's not my vibe. But if it's more in union, if there's more equality in the environment, that's what I'm for. And I don't care what they, he, she, whoever shows up. If you're our vibe of person, let's all vibe off each other. That's how I
Yeah,
live my life.
it's more about energy and connection. We're not here to just like go, oh, women only at this particular event. It's more, we just want good vibes. We just want good fun. We just want action, get some things done, enjoy some time together. If everybody can connect with each other and chat with the person next to them, easy. That's
Love
how
it,
I
love
want it to
it.
feel, fun and easy.
I think it's a beautiful service offering of helping people understand that we may avoid doing some of these things and helping us to be more accountable to ourselves. I know I need to do this. I know I'm putting it off. I'm not prioritizing it, but I want it, but I can't, and I don't, and I won't. I can't wait to start showing up. Did you say monthly?
Monthly.
Yeah.
So what I'm hoping to do is 2 to 3 different style events per month. So one week will be a chill week for me because nobody needs to work that hard. And then, for the other 3 weeks of the month, there will be a small event, a bigger event, a B-roll event, whatever they're going to be. I do need to work a little bit on the strategy there, but a well thought out plan in terms of B-roll creation 1 week, B-roll creation, reel creation and scheduling. And then whatever we do the following week after that will be I'm hoping for a big content creation day. So we're going to have a whole pile of little creation pods of lots of different styling. We're going to have a speaker, plenty of food, a social media, like an Instagram growth kind of part of the day as well. So we're definitely connecting with each other's social media accounts, making connections, making friends, growing our accounts together. And we are getting plenty more of those user-generated content. We can get into a little bit of that. And something I didn't tell you before, Mel, actually, about these big content creation days, social creation days that I'm planning on doing, is the potential. You mentioned just before about not being able to afford to have somebody follow you around like a little assistant. My plan also is to potentially have that as an availability on that day so that you could have your own personal little assistant, social media assistant, who takes your phone off you for the day and follows you around and creates the content for you. on the day.
Dinner.
So you will need to like pre-book that ahead of time. So I've got enough people, obviously, enough assistants to follow you around. But I thought that would be so much fun. Because that's what I would love. I would love someone to follow me around and create all that amazing stuff that you know, Gary V's little fellas that have got that checks him around creating like content for him. We need some of that. So I think that would be kind of a really cool little addition
I
to
love
Social Content Day. That'd be amazing.
literally having kittens, not literally. I'm having kittens with excitement right now. So what else is new? I mean, I love all this for my clients. I'm already like thinking, who can I invite? Who needs to come? People who I serve are self-identified on any level as empaths. And for those who don't understand what that might look like, perfect. If it even resonates, I think I'm an empath, then you probably are on some level. But the challenges that means for them is that they are afraid or worried about judgments of others when they do put themselves out there. Who am I? Comparisonitis, people calling me out, or people challenging what I'm sharing or saying, or my thought leadership. All of those things empaths in particular really struggle with. Now, that's not to say that's not a confidence thing. So there's this multiple reasons why we might not be showing up or putting ourselves out or reaching further. But for those who are empaths, a lot of it is about the energy that we feel from others, or the fear of what that energy might feel like. So it's unrealized. So helping people understand that would be great to even talk about in some of this B-roll of
That would be amazing.
how is that showing up? Here's somebody who's like, oh, I've got nothing up my sleeve to talk about. Come on, you know you do. You're just having a little moment. Let's support you through this. Let's, like, I want to know what you know. I want to share your hacks. I want to hear what your wisdoms are, and helping. You said it perfectly. We are on earth to be of service to others. So why am I in my head about my stuff?
Right.
That's stopping me helping the people who are struggling with the problems you know you can help.
Yeah.
Get rid of your own freaking ego, Mel, and just put your stuff out there.
Exactly. I honestly, I am definitely in that camp. I am in the empathic camp. So hard, so hardcore. It's not funny. And it's been a long time of me trying to work through that. Like, a lot of this is childhood stuff. We know a lot of our traumas and a lot of our things come through from childhood. And we've all had a pile of stuff that happens to us. It is our responsibility to then work through that because we have the capacity to do so. So yeah, that's, I feel like a whole pile of my inner values or lack of value comes from that empathic side, because everything, it's, I feel like, tell me if you've got a lot more knowledge here, but to me, being an empathic kind of person, like what I've a strong, like I call it people pleasing. It is quite debilitating. It feels like it's so reactive. It's so dependent on somebody else outside or something else outside that happens, or it's like I'm going to call my husband out just a little on this one, because I live in a house with this man, and, you know, it's a dynamic. You have a relationship with a person, but if I've got a people-pleasing style of personality, he better be happy, otherwise I'm not. He better be okay, otherwise I'm not. So all I do is run around trying to make him happy and trying to make sure everything's okay for him. And I don't even pay attention to whether it's okay for me or not. So then what it does to my head says, my husband is a hurdle. My husband is a thingamajig. Not necessarily. I can be okay if he's in a bad mood. That's fine. But being an empathic kind of person, it doesn't work that way. And it can be a bit of a struggle sometimes for me to go, no, it's fine. You've got a good idea. No, it's fine. You need to do this for this. Or, you know, just actually putting myself as the priority feels wrong. It can feel wrong. It is like, but no, my kids need this and that needs that, and the pet needs this and the husband needs that, and then I've got these events and everyone else's birthdays are going, yeah, it's people pleasing sucks.
Yes. There's a couple of things in there, like there's personality, there's behaviors that we've learned. People pleasing might not be innate, it's something you learned, particularly in the childhood, as you mentioned. And
Okay.
then there's the empath. We're complex beings. And understand that even your love languages comes into it. There's so many different reasons why we do the things we do. And then when you're layering on what must be done for business growth or business success, when you've got these other challenges going on, oh my Lord, no much wonder we're overwhelmed. So understanding if you're an empath first and how to protect or how to distance yourself, which is still protecting, from other people's stuff, other OPEs, other people's energies. So you can start there. Okay, this is my energy field. This is my auric field. This is where my energy exists. Nothing woo-woo about that. That is literally, where is my comfort zone of people being within my space? That's your energy field. If we stop negative energies coming in there, we stop and protect, like, you're having your bad mood over there, or I'm worried that you might be judging me over there. I'm not available to anybody else's stuff right now. You can protect that to start with, then you can work on your limiting beliefs. Then you can work on your people-pleasing default behaviors. Then you can work out if I'm being triggered by somebody else. There's so much to it. But when you know what your receptors are to start with, it's a really good place to begin.
Yeah. All of the above.
Yeah. If I'm a highly sensitive person, in what way am I sensitive? If I'm an empath, as in I have clear empathy, I feel the emotions of others, or I feel there's 9 ways we can be empathic.
I did not know that.
Yeah, most people don't. And then it's a scale as well. So of the 9 receptors, I have 4, well, 5. Five's like my play one. That's my party trick with the animal communication. I've got 4 like receptors, and they're all different strengths and capabilities or skill levels. So they all play into one another. If you don't know you've got more than one receptor that you have not tuned up, it's like all that white noise on a radio dial, all the static coming through from the different frequencies. Where's my truth? Where's my resonance? It's that when you're trying to, tune in to get the clarity. Crystal frequency. It's so cool. So cool.
It's incredible. I didn't know that there was 9.
Clairvoyance, you see things. Clairaudience, you hear things. Clairintelligence, you know things. There's 9 ways that we receive information, and it can get crowded in your mind, in your body.
How do dreams play into that kind of thing? Is that part of it?
It depends, again, what kind of dream. What sense?
I've been having, like, I think there's a difference between dreams. Like, some are just like your brain doing its sorting business, but then others are different.
There's messages.
Some of those different dreams lately.
Yes, and it depends on whether it's highly visual, leaves you with a feeling, or if there's intelligence or wisdom. So I often wake up with a thought. That's my clear intelligence coming through. I believe from my highest wisdom, knowledge, my pure, unfiltered soul coming through. And I often wake up, and this is why the empathy plays in 2 different aspects. I get a song, and I get a line of a song. So whatever that line is my message to myself. So when I wake up hearing that over and freaking over, and then sometimes it can still take me all day. I'm like, oh, what am I saying? What's the line? When you tune into the words, and you're like, oh, that's what I needed to hear today. That's my message from myself. But you can wake up with a dream and an element, whatever that thing, that trigger, that thought, that feeling, that visual. What does that mean to me? How is that applying to my life? And like you say, there can be filtering versus messages.
Yes, I sort of agree with that. I've had a really interesting, it was a few months ago actually, very vivid dream about my dad, and he was trying to protect me from like bad guys. And I rang him the next day because it was just that. And I'm not normally like this kind of a dreamy kind of person, but I don't know if it's just some new levels of, consciousness and things that I've been, working on myself lately. I rang him the next day, and he said his some personal stuff that was going on that really made a lot of sense in terms of my dream. I'm like, oh, my dad's like telling me that he's like taking care of me, sort of thing. Like, oh, that's amazing. And then like another one happened the week after that. It was very interesting. I have another question for you in terms of energy and empaths. So when an intuition, so when you can feel the energy of people when they walk in the room, walk through a door, coming around you, and then when you can feel like energy shifts of like they've been in that space for a good couple of hours, but somehow the energy in them has shifted, and you can intuitively notice and feel those types of energies. How does that work in terms of like, what does that sort of, is that like a particularly empathic, is that a skill? Is that just a,
it's clear empathy in its most common form. It's one that most people recognize, understand, that intuitive. But like I say, intuition can come from 9 different senses. But people think that empaths is just about or only about feeling other things. So yes, that sense of feeling and then recognizing and understanding the shift, that energetic change. This isn't science or pseudo weirdo stuff. Everybody has walked into a room after an argument and you can feel the room is charged. We can pick up on the energy. And so you tuning in and feeling a shift is just amplified clear empathy. Like,
because sometimes I feel like it's so strong that I know the exact, like in my head, I hear the sentence that they just ran through their head.
So you just said a couple things. You hear the sentence, clear audience, you're hearing the sentence, and then you knew in your mind, so that's clear intelligence. So they all play together.
It's so interesting.
It's not hard to understand once you know what yours are. It's like knowing your love language. Oh, I'm acts of service, I'm quality time, whatever it is. When you know it, you just pay more attention to it. And then as you pay more attention to it, you get smarter at it and your skill up.
It's very cool learning about all this sort of stuff. So can I learn more about it? Can you help me learn more about me?
No, I'm not here to help anyone. Absolutely. You can learn what type of empath you are, as in which of the sensors. I've got a quiz for that. And you can learn how.
Like a free quiz?
Pardon?
Yeah, like a free quiz?
It's a
I mean the link.
The empath quiz. So it tells you which of the sectors you have. And then there's a different one that tells you how strong overall all combined of them are together. So everything's a spectrum.
Yeah.
Narcissists, ironically, are very empathic. They know what triggers to use. They can feel, sense, know they have lots of tuned receptors and they use it against people. So people are like, oh, narcissists are drawn to empaths. They are also empaths themselves. That messes with your head. And then you got dark empaths who do it for the enjoyment. They're psychopaths. That's okay. We don't have many of them.
That's a whole other topic, I must say.
I don't like going into it.
And have been circling around trying to understand people around, particularly people around me. Yes, they're very good at it.
They are. I don't like talking about dark empaths. I have to do some serious protection before I open up.
Not so much that one, but just those behaviors as it is, narcissistic behaviors as it is. You know, they're not a lot of fun to work with. I don't know. I think the trouble is I don't know how to work with them. So I don't know how to actually, aside from literal physical distance, I don't know how to like sort of protect myself. Yeah. Even though I know it's there and I know what happens every time I see these people. Yeah, how to minimize the impact on that I choose to let it have on me, because it doesn't worry them left, right, or center what impact they've had, but me figuring out how to minimize what impact it has towards me is really important, and one I'm gonna probably spend the rest of my life figuring out.
No, you're not. It's like a matter of weeks.
Oh well, all right then. In a few weeks, after talking to you, Mel, we're gonna fix it.
And there's not fixing; it's tuning up. The awareness is so instant when you know. I actually enjoy playing with narcissists now. I can pick up on it really quickly, and it's like, oh, we got a doozy here. Now, if they're really conscious or unconsciously leveraging your energy for their own gain, sometimes that's fun because you can sabotage them. And others who are really good at it, it can be triggering. So yes, I get it, but sometimes I'm like, see you, feel you, know you, bring it.
Yeah, I don't think I've got some tools and techniques, but I don't think enough. I think I could do with a lot more tuning up in that respect, because it does take a little bit of a pre-planning, a little pre-work to prepare for those interactions. And
that's the key.
Being ready and approaching it with the right set. Yeah.
It's shields up is my phrase that I've
shields up. I like that.
Shields up. I just imagine, I watch a lot of sci-fi stuff, just an invisible glass wall energy field. Shield up. I can still see you, but you can't affect me. I do that when I'm networking. I do that when I go into mall or general population environments. So yeah, you get to play with this stuff. Shields up is so fun. I do it networking. Somebody I'm not really biggest connection of. They're not really my vibe. And I can feel them coming towards me in the room or whatever. Shields up, they will veer off. They will change direction. It's so
I want
fun.
That. I don't know if it's an empathetic thing or just a people-pleasing thing where I just find myself in a conversation that I can't extricate myself out of, because then I feel rude and all those other things. And like, I just don't want to talk to you anymore. And I don't know how to like politely go, excuse me, I have other people I need to see before I leave. Yeah.
All of those things can be learned. So fun. You said it earlier, it's about the boundaries and knowing your worth, that you don't
well,
have.
Yeah, that's I think that's like a foundational step. Need to have that internal, does not require the external validation from other people, other things, anything other than you, just because you are.
Yeah.
Means you are worthy. And I don't feel like I have that every day. I feel like that is like on this little roller coaster of its own. There's some days like today, because I'm high vibing and I'm hanging out with you, and I'm feeling fabulous and I'm in a good mood, good vibes, could be hormones. But, I'm going to leave the call. I'm going to have a very productive day because I've like had a really great morning. But then other days all the limiting beliefs roll in again. And I'm like, well, I don't actually have that much self-worth. I don't have that much self-value. And then that's so unproductive and so unhelpful that then I, freeze. I freeze all the time with overwhelm. And then I get nothing done.
Well, I think it's fair to also acknowledge that we are cyclic. People use cycles. I don't know what that word is. We go, that's why flow, the tides have a flow and a cycle. Humans, women in particular, have cycles. And it's okay to not always be high vibe. Like, I don't subscribe to that.
I can't expect to be that every day, can we?
Silly robots. I'm happy. Oh, for fuck's sake. No, you're not. That's unrealistic. And where's the pure joy in life if you're constantly putting on that kind of everything's fine, always looking for gratitude? We're humans with emotions, and emotions are peak and trough. So
yeah, every emotion is valid because it is a human emotion.
What can I learn from that?
Just as people, where's the lesson? Some little piece of gold I found from somebody else. I was looking at starting a nutritional, healthy eating plan several years ago. And we were just on a call like this one, chatting about each other and getting to know each other. And she said something to me like, it was such a good piece of gold. It was like, what's the benefit to you in any situation? The good ones, the bad one. Where is the benefit to you? I'm like, oh my gosh, I can take that into all the good stuff, all the bad stuff, all the hard stuff, all the tricky weirdness. there is some benefit to every single experience you have.
Yeah.
Like, this is gold.
Yeah. It's a philosophy.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Because even when it's shit, I'm learning some resilience right now.
Yeah. I have used that a lot since Christmas.
You're mastering your resilience, have you?
Yeah, we had all the Christmas damage to our home and stuff. So, where's the benefit to that? Well, I learned how to be resilient. I learned how to use what I've got. This benefit to everything. And a lot of people would say there's a lot more lessons to learn through the hardships than the winning days.
I subscribe to that. That's a harder adaptation to integrate into life, depending on where you're at on resolving some of those hardships. Yes, not everybody is at that stage, but I have come to the conclusion after having gone through my trenches of trauma to the other side and going, all of that served me. Not in the moment, but it served my life.
Yes.
All of that suffering has had a purpose and meaning, even if it's simply to be able to relate to someone else's suffering now. I've gotten way more than that, but just being able to connect with someone else's suffering and then know how to protect myself from it, that compassion, which is empathy in motion, is a beautiful trait to have.
Yeah.
I can relate to someone about some topics that others can't.
Yeah.
So good, the kitty. So yeah, I love that you shared that. Everything does serve us. But we can also draw a line and like, that no longer serves me. I'm done. I'm not available to that anymore.
We can identify those things. Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of those entirely.
I think that is probably a wrap there.
I think it is too.
It's come to a natural, beautiful ending.
We have. It's been amazing.
Is there anything you wanted to conclude with?
Nope. Not really, no. I'm just excited for my new direction, excited to get started, excited to go and actually do the action doing things, which is how I would love to have a few more days a little bit more regularly. Would be nice. Yeah.
We're all doing the best we can, and that's sometimes enough, even if it's not enough according to our logic.
Even if it's not enough, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
Even if it's only 2% you put in, that was enough for that day because that's all you had.
2% more than yesterday is still advancement.
Yesterday.
Love it. All right, my darling. I look forward to seeing you.
Bye. Bye.